Dominic Jerome Green, October 26, 2004. Green and 3 other men carried out a series of robberies around Houston over several hours, starting on October 13, 1992, and continuing into the early morning of the next day. After 6 a.m. on October 14, the group arrived at a convenience store where they confronted Andrew Lestrapes in the parking lot and demanded his money. When Lestrapes refused, Green shot him and then took $50 from his wallet. Green and his accomplices divided the money they stole during their crime spree. 3 days later, Green was driving a car stolen from one of their robbery victims and led Houston police on a high-speed chase for nearly 50 miles before crashing into a ditch in Brazoria County. He ran from the scene on foot, but he was soon caught hiding in a nearby field. The other people in the car were also arrested. Police found a loaded semi-automatic gun in the vehicle, which was identified as the weapon used in the murder. After his arraignment, Green admitted he was at the scene of the shooting, but claimed he was only acting as a lookout. At trial, 9 victims identified Green as the person who robbed them during the 3-day crime spree. He refused the final meal. His last words were, "There was a lot of people that got me to this point and I can't thank them all, but thank you for your love and support. They have allowed me to do a lot more than I could have on my own. I have overcame a lot. I'm not angry, but I am disappointed that I was denied justice. But I am happy that I was afforded you all as family and friends. I love you all. Please just keep the struggle going. I am just sorry, and I am not as strong as I thought I was going to be. But I guess it only hurts for a little while. You are all my family. Please keep my memory alive." Lorenzo Morris, November 2, 2004. Morris attacked 70-year-old Jesse Fields in his home, slashing his throat and striking him on the head repeatedly with a hammer. Fields sustained serious head injuries and permanent brain damage from the assault. At the time, Morris was arrested in March 1991 for an unrelated robbery shooting. Fields was in a coma. During police interviews, Morris admitted to the attack but claimed that Fields had initially attacked him with the hammer. However, Morris's then-girlfriend, Judy Courtney, stated that she was present in Fields' home and witnessed Morris sitting on top of Fields, holding a knife in one hand while beating him with the other. Courtney recalled hearing Morris threaten to kill Fields and demanded to know where his money was kept. Fields remained in a vegetative state at the hospital where he developed pneumonia and gangrene that led to the amputation of a leg. He died the day after the surgery. Morris argued that hospital negligence caused Fields' death, but this defense was rejected by both the jury and the appeals courts. At trial, 2 doctors testified for the prosecution that the assault was the primary cause of Fields' death. The Harris County medical examiner ruled the death a homicide. Morris's accomplice, Ricky Darnell Henson, was also convicted but sentenced to life in prison. Morris's last meal was fried chicken and fried fish, French bread, hot peppers, apple pie, butter pecan ice cream, and 2 soft drinks, either Sprites or Big Reds. He didn't have any final words. Robert Bryce Morrow, November 4, 2004. Morrow kidnapped and murdered 21-year-old Lisa Allison, a college student, home for spring break. She left her parents' house around 8:30 p.m. to wash her father's car at a nearby car wash and had planned to drive to Houston the next day for a date. The day after she went missing, her body was discovered floating in the Trinity River. She had been brutally beaten and her throat was slashed. Hair and blood samples taken from Morrow matched those found in Allison's car. Testimony revealed that Morrow had previously spoken about committing a kidnapping, essay, and murder at the car wash. After his conviction for capital murder, the jury deliberated for only 13 minutes before sentencing him to death. Just days before his execution, Morrow admitted to lying during the trial when he claimed an alibi. He confessed to beating and slashing Lisa to death and claimed that she had willingly gone with him from the car wash to smoke crack cocaine. However, if his story were true, there would be no kidnapping involved to justify a death sentence. Neither the appeals courts nor the victim's family were convinced by this explanation. In his last words, Morrow addressed the parents of his victim by name and told them, "I would like to tell you that I am responsible and I am sorry for what I did and the pain I caused." He expressed love to his friends and said he had been blessed that they stood by him. Morrow urged them to stay strong. "Set me free, Warden. Father, accept me." As he waited for the lethal drugs to take effect, He turned again, looking through a window at his victim's relatives, and added, "I do hope my death brings you all some closure." Then he blurted out, "I feel it," and gasped slightly 3 times. His last meal was 10 pieces of crispy fried chicken, 2 cheeseburgers, 3 fried pork chops, chef salad with chopped ham and Thousand Island dressing, French fries and onions, 5 buttermilk biscuits with butter, 4 jalapeno peppers, a pint of Rocky Road ice cream, 1 bowl of peach cobbler or apple pie, and 2 Sprites and 2 Cokes. DeMarco Markeith McCullum, November 9, 2004. In 1994, the year he graduated from Aldine High School, McCullum appeared to have a bright future ahead. He was the starting quarterback, earned a football scholarship to Tyler Junior College, and was well liked by teachers and coaches for his polite and respectful demeanor. Known for being friendly and outgoing, his classmates even voted him Mr. Aldine. McCullum had no prior criminal record, but evidence later linked him to a series of shootings, robberies, and assaults that occurred that summer. Along with classmates Terrence Perrow, 19, Cedric Gaines, 18, and Christopher Lewis, 17, McCullum, needing money for school clothes, planned to target victims outside a gay club in Montrose, having been told that had money and were easy targets. They spotted 29-year-old Michael Brzezinski as he left Haven, a nightclub in Houston's gay district. Brzezinski was struck in the head as he tried to unlock his car door, then forced into the back seat. The group beat him while driving to the West Little York area, where they used Brzezinski's bank card to withdraw $400. Later, they took him to a remote location, shot him in the head, and abandoned him. Brzezinski's car was found burned near the suspect's neighborhood. McCullum told police he shot Brzezinski because that is what everybody said I should do. Perrow pleaded no contest to aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. Gaines was convicted of capital murder, and both are serving life sentences. Lewis also pleaded no contest to aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. He has since been paroled. McCullum's last words were, "I just wanted to say to all of those that have supported me over the years that I appreciate it and I love you, and I just want to tell my mom that I love her and I will see her in heaven." His last meal was a cheeseburger, French fries, apple pie, 3 Cokes, and 5 mint sticks. Frederick Patrick McWilliams, November 10, 2004. McWilliams and his friends Kenneth Adams and Richard Hawkins were driving around Houston searching for a car to steal and use in robberies when they found Alfonso Rodriguez sleeping in his parked vehicle. They woke him up and tried to force him into the trunk of his own car. When Rodriguez resisted, McWilliams shot him in the head at close range. This murder happened amid a crime spree that McWilliams and his accomplices were carrying out in Walker and Harris counties. About a week later, Adams was pulled over for speeding. A search of their vehicle uncovered several firearms, including the one identified as the murder weapon used on Rodriguez. During police questioning, Adams confessed and implicated McWilliams. After his arrest, McWilliams initially tried to blame Adams, but later admitted to shooting Rodriguez. His last words were, "Well, here we are again, folks, in the catacombs of justice." He said there was much he wanted to say, but not a whole to say. "There are people that will be mad thinking I tried to seek freedom from this, but as long as I see, freedom belongs to me, and I'll keep on keeping on. The shackles and chains that just might hold my body can't hold my mind, but will kill me otherwise." Addressing his mother and family members who attended, McWilliams said, "I leave my love here. I am never going to stop loving you. My love is going to stay here." His last meal was fried chicken breasts, lasagna, egg rolls, shrimp fried rice, chimichangas, turkey with liver and gizzard dressing, dirty rice, cranberry sauce, and lemonade. Anthony Guy Fuentes, November 17, 2004. On February 18, 1994, Fuentes and 3 others robbed a Handy Food Mart in North Houston. Fuentes and one accomplice were armed with pistols. Robert Tate, who had been drinking beer with friends in the store's parking lot, chased after one of the robbers as he fled with 2 cases of beer. Tate managed to grab accomplice Templeton, causing the robber to drop the beer. At that moment, Fuentes rushed out of the store and shot Tate twice in the chest. Tate died in a ditch across the street from the store. During the trial, a witness identified Fuentes as the shooter, and accomplice Templeton also testified, confirming Fuentes' role in the murder. Fuentes' last words were, "Sorry that I have to put my family through this. To everybody else, the truth will be known. It didn't come out in time to save my life, but when it comes out, I hope it stops this. It is wrong for the prosecutors to lie and make witnesses say what they need them to say. The truth has always been there. I just hope everybody has their piece. Today, I get mine." His last meal was fried chicken with biscuits and jalapeno peppers, steak and French fries, fajita tacos, pizza, a hamburger, water, and Coca-Cola. James Scott Porter, January 4, 2005. Porter was convicted of burglary in both 1990 and in 1991, resulting in a 5-year prison sentence. After being paroled, he was convicted in 1995 of first-degree murder and sentenced to 45 years in prison. Porter had shot a 40-year-old male transient twice in the head and disposed of the body in a water well. He showed no remorse for the killing and believed he had done society a favor. While incarcerated in 2000, Porter brutally killed fellow inmate Rudy Delgado in the prison day room. He struck Delgado, who was sitting at a table, from behind with a rock wrapped in a pillowcase. After Delgado fell and lay helpless, Porter continued to bludgeon his head and face with the rock. When the pillowcase tore, Porter stabbed Delgado in the head and face with a makeshift knife before stomping on him with steel-toed boots. After the assault, Porter surrendered to a correctional officer and later confessed in writing to investigators. He admitted he had planned to kill someone for some time and had prepared the rock and knife the week before. He also claimed Delgado was a convicted child molester who had made unwanted advances toward him. Porter's last words were, "I would like to apologize to the family of the victim. I am sorry for the pain I have caused you. I know it is a great loss and I want to apologize. I am sorry. And to my family, I love you and I will see you all in heaven. Okay." I couldn't find what his final meal was. Troy Albert Kunkle, January 25, 2005. Kunkle and 3 others traveled from San Antonio to Corpus Christi, where they spotted Stephen Horton walking along a road. They offered him a ride but then demanded his wallet. When one of Kunkle's friends refused to kill Horton, Kunkle took the gun himself, pressed it to Horton's head, and said, "We're going to take you back here and blow your brains out." After driving behind a skating rink, Kunkle shot Horton in the back of the head and took his wallet. They then pushed his body out of the car. Following the shooting, Kunkle quoted the line from Metallica's song No Remorse from the album Kill 'Em All. Another day, another death, another sorrow, another breath, and called the murder beautiful. Accomplice Laura Lee Zayons was sentenced to life in prison for capital murder, while Russell Stanley and Aaron Atkins each received 30-year sentences for the murder. Kunkle's last meal was fried chicken, chicken fried steak, a hamburger with cheese and onions, French fries, cauliflower, cinnamon rolls, apple pie, and milk. His final words were, "I would like to ask you to forgive me. I made a mistake, and I am sorry for what I did. All I can do is ask you to forgive me. I love you, and I will see you all in heaven. I love you very much. Praise Jesus, I love you." He then recited the Lord's Prayer. Dennis Wayne Bagwell, February 17, 2005. Bagwell and his girlfriend, Victoria Wolford, lived in a small travel trailer parked on the property of Bagwell's mother, Leona McBee, and stepfather, Ron Boone. About 2 weeks before the murders, McBee asked them to move off the property. After that, Bagwell and Wolford stayed with friends in San Antonio. According to Wolford's testimony, she and Bagwell returned to McBee's house to borrow money. Feeling unwell with a headache, Wolford went back to the travel trailer to rest. Shortly after, Bagwell came to the trailer and told her that his mother would only give him $20, then he returned to the house. While standing outside, Wolford saw Bagwell through the trailer window strike McBee, followed by screams and 2 gunshots. Later, Bagwell soaked some towels with water, wiped down a hammer, and told Wolford he planned to clean up fingerprints and stage the crime scene to look like a robbery and essay involving Tassie Boone. The bodies were found by Ronald Boone when he returned from work. Leona McBee, 47, had been beaten, strangled, and had a broken neck. Libby Best, 24, was shot twice in the head. Tassie Boone, 14, suffered beating, strangulation, essay, and also had a broken neck. 4-year-old Reba Best had been beaten and had a crushed skull. Bagwell's final meal request was a beefsteak, medium rare with A1 sauce, 3 fried chicken breasts, 3 fried chicken thighs, barbecue ribs, a large order of French fries, a large order of onion rings, a pound of fried bacon, a dozen scrambled eggs with onions, fried taters with onions, sliced tomatoes, a salad with ranch dressing, 2 hamburgers with everything, peach pie or cobbler, ketchup, salt and pepper, milk and coffee, iced tea with real sugar. In his final words, he told people he had invited to watch him die, "I love you all." George Anderson Hopper, March 8, 2005. In 1983, Hopper broke into the home of 33-year-old Roseanne Gay Yunus in Richardson, Texas, and attacked her in her bedroom. While her 4-year-old son slept in another room, Hopper tied Guy Yunus to her bed, strangled her, and shot her twice in the head. Guy Yunus's son later found her with tissue stuffed in her mouth, making a gurgling noise. She survived for 2 days before being taken off life support and passing away. The case remained unsolved for almost 5 years until investigators focused on Joy Davis Ayler, a Dallas socialite whose husband had been involved with Guy Yunus at the time of the murder. Multiple people confessed that Ayler had paid $5,000 to have Guy Yunus taken care of. The investigation eventually led to Hopper, who had received $1,500. When arrested, Hopper confessed to the murder and provided detailed audio and video statements to the police. On the eve of her 1990 trial, Ayler fled to Canada and then to France, living under a false identity for 2 years. France agreed to extradite her after Texas promised not to seek the death penalty. She was also convicted but received a life sentence. Hopper's final meal was 6 eggs over easy, 10 biscuits, 12 pieces of bacon, a bowl of grits, white gravy, strawberry preserves, French fries, fried chicken, and chocolate meringue pie. On the day of his execution, Hopper turned toward 4 members of his victim's family, including the son who discovered his mother's body, and said he was sorry. "I have made a lot of mistakes in my life. The things I did changed so many lives. I can't take it back. It was an atrocity. I am sorry. I beg your forgiveness. I know I am not worthy of it." Then he turned his head toward the second window, where his parents were among those watching. He told them he loved them and thanked them for everything. Douglas Allen Roberts, April 20, 2005. Roberts forced a woman at knife point to steal her car at a convenience store in San Antonio. Concerned the car might have been reported stolen, he later pulled into an apartment complex parking lot and abducted Jerry Velez by threatening him with a knife inside Velez's own vehicle. Roberts robbed Velez of his money and commanded him to drive out of San Antonio. On a remote road outside the city, Roberts forced Velez out of the car at gunpoint. When Velez lunged at him, Roberts said he stabbed him multiple times before running over his body as he fled in the car. Roberts then drove to Austin, called 911, and confessed to kidnapping and killing Velez. He later gave a full confession in a videotaped police interview. His final meal request was for 3 southern fried chicken breasts, 2 bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches, 3 enchiladas, ground beef, 2 grilled pork chops, 6 corn tortillas, 4 deviled eggs, 12 green olives with Italian ketchup, butter beans and cabbage seasoned with ham bone, broccoli with cheese sauce, fried onion rings, French fries, tomato, lettuce, cheese, picante sauce, onions, and jalapenos. Roberts was upbeat and animated in the seconds before the lethal drugs were administered. His last words were, "I've been hanging around this popsicle stand way too long. I want to tell you all. When I die, bury me deep, lay 2 speakers at my feet, put some headphones on my head, and rock and roll me when I'm dead. I'll see you in heaven someday." Roberts was smiling and mouthing "I love you all" to friends watching through a window, then said, "I've got to go," and took his final breath. Lonnie Wayne Pursley, May 3, 2005. On Good Friday, March 28, 1997, Robert Cook was on his way home to Livingston. That same day, Pursley and his family were visiting relatives in Shepherd. After an argument with his wife, Pursley left the house on foot. Trial testimony supported the prosecution's claim that Cook likely stopped to give Pursley a ride. After spending some time at Cook's home, Pursley had him drive out to a wooded area, where Pursley brutally beat Cook to death, took his rings, and abandoned the body. Several witnesses later saw Pursley driving Cook's blood-stained car. Pursley used Cook's rings to buy drugs and confessed to multiple people that he had beaten someone to death. DNA evidence and witness statements connected Pursley to the crime. His last meal was a cheeseburger, 4 fried pork chops, French fries, 2 dinner rolls, a piece of cheesecake, and iced tea with sugar. His last words were, "I would like to address the victim's family. I received your poem, and I am very grateful for your forgiveness. I still want to ask for it anyway. I have Jesus in my heart, and I am sorry for any pain I caused you all. Thank you for your forgiveness. I am sorry. Ashley, Pam, I am going to miss you all. I love you all. Give everybody my love. Mother, James, Justin, Corey, Brent, grandbabies, and Daddy. I love you, Pam. I love you, Ashley, Pammy, and Irene. I will see you all on the other side. Couple friends on death row who have helped me, Chi-Town and Crazy J. I love you all and for all your support. Uncle Ray too. I am saved and I am going home, okay? You all stay strong. You all stay strong, that is all." Brian Eric Wolfe, May 18, 2005. The body of 84-year-old Bertha Lemmel was discovered on the floor of her Beaumont residence bearing 26 stab wounds to her head, torso, and abdomen. Her coin purse, with cash missing, was found nearby on the floor. There were no signs of forced entry at Lemmel's home. Wolfe, a neighbor living in the same area, was seen just a few blocks from the crime scene shortly before and after the murder. Blood found throughout the victim's house was DNA tested and matched Wolfe. Wolfe had prior robbery convictions in Kansas in 1985 and Louisiana in 1990. His final meal was fried chicken legs, fried pork chops, barbecue ribs, French fries, peach cobbler, and a banana. In a final statement while strapped to a gurney in the death chamber, Wolfe thanked family and friends for their support during the years leading up to his execution. "I will be okay. I am at peace with all of this, and I won't have to wake up in prison anymore. I love you all. I totally surrender to the Lord. I am ready, Warden." Please hit that subscribe button if you like my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.